Such a beautiful day today. The sun is shining. I love it. I think I want to call my friend later to soak in the sunshine, go for a walk. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, you know who I haven't heard of in a while? XX Lotus Girl. What must she been up to? Okay, let's check. Go to YouTube, type XX Lotus Girl. Okay. It says last video was published in September, and it was a summer video. Honestly, I don't think she's coming back anytime soon.
I'm totally back. Please don't say those things. No, I'm totally back. Hello, I'm doing well. I know it's been a minute. I know I haven't posted in a year or so, but can you just cut me some slack? Hello, can you hear me? I'm back.
What's that sound? Okay, whatever. I don't think that it was anything. What's for lunch?
Can you hear me? What the fuck?
Where the hell have you been, XX Lotus Girl? Well, where the hell do I even start? I turned 30 in November and hosted a big fat birthday party after dreaming about doing this for years. It was so emotional seeing all of my friends together in one space, dancing and having fun. And it's funny because I always thought I didn't even have a lot of friends. Anyway, after that, I had this lingering feeling that turning 30 must be this pivotal moment in life, and I had to live up to it somehow. I needed a fresh start. But bad news, because I got severely sick 3 times over a 4-month period, and by the 3rd time, I seriously started to question my immune system. Looking back, it seems like my body was sending signals that I was seriously out of balance, but all's well that ends well, and I was fortunate enough to be able to travel to Paris, Budapest, and Switzerland, because who would we be without that feeling of getting away from home, am I right? Paris was one of my favorites, and I got to spend it with one of my dearest friends, an experience I will never forget. It was a very French love affair indeed. In the midst of all that, I thought it was time to quit my job and do what I so feverishly dreamt of in the last 3 years, pursue a new career and transform my life forever. It's a bit dramatic the way I say it, but that's exactly how I felt doing it. Oh, and not to forget, I scrapped every video idea I got during this time, and they never saw the light of day, and they just keep stacking up in my drafts. Poor them. And by the end of the year, I opened up my notes from the beginning of 2025, and all I saw were these crazy goals I had written down. And I thought, hey, dreaming big is what actually made the previous year possible. So why not do the same for 2026? And here we are today.
So 2026, hello. 2026 is here in full force and we're already mid-January, and I want to know, are you one of those people who sets up goals for the new year? Or are you one of those people who say, I don't believe in this is nonsense, let's just let the year roll out the way it's supposed to? Well, I was one of those people who lets things just happen because I felt like New Year's resolutions is just a construct of society that is just not serving us whatsoever because we never stick with them. But last year was the first year that I sat down with myself. I feel like I was a little desperate as well. And I was just like, you know what? I want to know what the hell is going on in my mind. Like, I'm so confused. And I took the opportunity because it was a new year and new year, fresh start, blah, blah, blah. There's this feeling about it. I was like, okay, I feel very confused. Let's just sit down. Let's have an inner dialogue with myself, what it is that I want, what it is that I'm craving. In my wildest dreams, if I'm allowed to dream freely, what is it that I want to achieve? And I wrote it all down. I forgot about it throughout the entire of 2025. I pulled it out right before the new year kicked in. And I was so happily surprised to see that, hey, oh my God, most of these things that I've written down, I actually achieved. Not all of them. There was some major things that I didn't achieve, but I saw things on the list and I saw things in my life. I did a little cross check and I was like, what the hell, you know? So that's magical, you know? I felt like, hey, actually, you know, I did that. You know, I was the one who did that. And so after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep writing things down, you know? I'm gonna keep manifesting. I'm gonna keep trying to at least decide on the direction of my life that I would like to be headed towards. It's not about being able to 100% achieve everything you write down, but it's about setting a direction, like a gentle nudge for yourself to say, this is where I would like to go. This is where I would like to focus on. The more knowledge you have about yourself, the more power you have to achieve the things that you want.
So the first thing I do is I choose an animal of the year. So I write down 2026, the year of the, and I choose an animal, imaginary or real. I do that because animals carry strong symbolism, and based on the feeling I have for the new year or what I would like to manifest, I choose the animal that best reflects that. So for example, if I want to manifest a year of transformation or I'm hoping for a fresh start, I might choose the symbolism of the butterfly. Next up is writing your sentence of the year. This is like your mantra, the one statement that holds the overall intention for the year. So I write, 2026 is the year I ... And here you can ask yourself, if there's one thing you would like the year to be about, what would it be? And then we come to the third and final step of the warm-up process, which is very similar to a brainstorming session. Here we brainstorm 12 goals or desires we have for the new year. Try to do it as freely as possible and without overthinking it too much. Ideally, we also want to tap into that inner dialogue I mentioned earlier. Try to mentally answer questions such as, what do I crave most? Where do I feel stuck? What would give me a lot of joy? The point here is to do it as naturally as possible because we want to have 12 things top of mind I would like to achieve in the new year. And the reason we do this is because usually when it comes to goal setting, I've noticed that we start off with predefined categories such as career, health, love, finances, stuff like that. But this approach is the exact opposite. We write down 12 desires firsthand, and these desires will then reveal the categories and areas of our lives we would like to focus on for the new year.
So our own desires tell us what categories we want to work on instead of try to force ourselves to work on categories we don't even care about.
So now that we've done the warm-up, which really helped us find the initial direction we want to go in for the new year, it's time to start the actual goal-setting process for 2026. And this is what I call the main part of the process. And for the main part, I like to divide my goals into two types: core goals and moonshot goals. Core goals are our main objectives for the year. They're realistic, but still challenging, but these are the things we definitely want to focus on, and I like to think of them as the foundation of my goal setting. Moonshot goals, on the other side, are a little different. These are big, ambitious dreams. We know they're hard to achieve, but that's the whole point, because moonshot goals keep us inspired. They reflect our long-term vision, our big desires, the things that make us feel excited just thinking about them. We don't really aim to achieve them in the same way as core goals. We keep them in there because they're what gives us fuel, you know? And who knows, maybe we'll even be able to reach some of them, which is what makes life exciting after all. Okay, let's start with the core goals. And we want to take a look at the 12 goals we brainstormed on earlier and notice what themes or categories appear. And these will become the main areas of our life we want to focus on this year. So we started writing them out as big headers of categories like health, friendship, career, lifestyle, love, whatever comes up from the 12 goals we've written down. And then I always like to include one extra category, which I call sharpen the axe. And Sharpen the Axe is a category that includes everything related to skills and abilities. So any skills or abilities I want to improve, I include under Sharpen the Axe. It could be learning a new program, developing a hobby, or strengthening a hard skill. So these are my categories, and once I have them, I start listing the goals I want to achieve under each one in bullet points, in whatever wording you feel it's natural to you. And it makes sense that many of the goals that we've written down in our original 12 goals will appear under these categories. But of course, we will come up with additional ones as we keep writing. So each category will have a set of bullet points underneath it. Now it's time to move on to the moonshot goals. These are way fewer than the core goals, which makes sense. I like to write them freely as they come to mind in a list format, but you can definitely place one or two under each category, like your core goals. It's up to you, whatever feels right. I just think a simple bullet list here is enough. Dream big is the memo here.
That's how I set my goals. Some people say that it's much better to keep looking at your goals on a weekly basis, open up the file or check the list you've written them down, just to be able to have a connection to them and not forget about them. And it keeps driving you towards this direction. It keeps you motivated, it keeps you inspired. I will try to do it myself. I will keep looking at my goals more often this time around, because last year I just saved them and I didn't look at them at all. But that's it. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed this goal setting video. I wish you all the best for the new year. First and foremost, health, and then the rest, whatever it is that you're looking for the most. I want you to find it in front of you this year. I want you to grasp on it. I love you lots. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye. Let's keep it rolling, you guys.